All right. So you probably want to select your highest charisma character. You want to try to succeed the door check. And if you do, then you get this nice surprise round where you can take out this guy before he warns the others. If you are able to take him out ahead of time, that is going to set you up really well to take out the group of adventurers that's looting the ancient cathedral. I like to also completely surround Andorn with all of my melee characters in case you cannot kill him on the surprise round. He will try to run away, but he does not disengage. So you'll trigger all of those opportunity attacks, which can help you get rid of them. It's worthwhile, I think, at this level to always loot the room when you're in the room. Uh, you want to remember that if you're struggling with weight, like I often will, because my main character is a wizard, to send your food back to the camp. Now, you got to be careful on this one because when you open the door, there is a chance if anybody's standing within line of sight behind the door that she will see them because you can't, there's no way to know where she is before you open the door. But as long as you're hidden, you can do the same thing, set up a sneak attack on her. I place that oil barrel like that because what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up for a surprise ambush. So I'm going to position all of my characters in this room. I'm going to set up one with fireball. I'm going to come out here and shoot the rock that's kind of hanging over the cracked floor. And then I'm going to come back in. I'm kind of wait for everybody to run out of the room. And then I want to cast my fireball. And if you do it right, you're going to hit everybody with that exploding barrel, which, as you can see, took out most of their crew and really injured the remaining ones. This fight can be deadly if you're facing them on even terms. So this is a little dirty, really taking advantage of surprise mechanics and things. But this changes the fight from a really deadly fight into a pretty easy fight if you're able to blow them up with the barrel. I always do this when I always have this great idea of like, well, the next time I run a D&D session, I'm going to have the group of players get surprised by somebody else like this. Kind of mean, something that they would have to work hard to overcome. But in any case, the guy who's left is the guy with the most health. He's a barbarian. He'll rage if you let him. He is also pretty difficult to take down. He was a little further away from the barrel than normal, so he took less damage than I'm used to. But you can see he's almost gone as it is. In these early encounters, my goal right here is that I don't want to take a bunch of short or long rests. I want to avoid that as much as I can. So to accomplish that, what I really want to do is just avoid him hitting any of my characters. So that's why I'm kind of belaboring this point here in the combat, getting everybody to step aside and to hide and do all of that kind of stuff. I really just want to take him out before he can do any damage to anybody. So with that achieved, same deal. I'm going to keep looting everything just so that I have a source of money when I do get to a vendor. You want to come into this side room, of course. There isn't a lot to loot, but there is the little handle there that you want to pull. That's going to unlock that door that I just went through. Now, I already did the trap room, so we don't need to revisit that. Now, when you come in here with these priests, the thing you can do is you can disarm them up front. So that's what I'm doing. I'm running around to each of the bodies on the floor, and I'm taking all of their items off of them before the battle starts so that they will be less effective in battle. I made Astarion hide so that he gets a sneak attack round. And then I'm going to start the battle by pushing the button. You can also start the battle by shoving one of the corpses. If you shove the corpse and it moves, then they will all wake up and attack you. So, looks like I have a scroll of sleep. I tried to use that. I don't think you can use sleep on an undead. So kind of a wasted round there because I can't get close enough, and I'm a melee wizard. Uh, and then I have everybody else. Everybody else is positioned right next to a priest so that they're set up for an opportunity attack and they get to attack the priest during the initial round. I'm not really sure what I did with Astarion there. He should have. Okay, he's gonna do his sneak attack. I think I was just worried about losing my hiding, but I didn't. So now the sneak attack should probably kill that priest when they try to run away. And so that one's gonna run away, gonna get killed. And then I want to position Lae'zel because she's a fighter. I want to position her next to the fighter as well. Looks like, oh, she used an opportunity attack to kill the one that was next to her. So she still had her action to put some damage. And then you see the guy tries to run away from Astarion. Astarion gets a free hit, takes him out. Now I will have enough motion to get next to this scribe. I guess they're scribes, not priests, and I'll go ahead and miss him. But at least do an offhand attack. And let's see here. Get a start. So the warrior, the undead warrior, is definitely the most dangerous of the group. Even if you take his sword away, he still does a lot of damage. He'll throw rocks at you and stuff like that. I forgot to take his sword away, so he has it. These other scribes like to cast Fog Cloud and Silence and stuff like that, which is pretty harmless overall, so not so much to worry about. Looks like Lae'zel took out the warrior pretty easily, so it's just a matter of putting your people next to the targets. He runs away, provokes an opportunity attack. Really lucky there, he missed his Frostbolt. Frostbolt applies a slow, so that can be really obnoxious to deal with. And now we're down to just the last one, so this will be an easy wrap up. The first levels in Baldur's Gate 3 are really among the riskiest. Now, they did a great job when they designed this game of ramping up the difficulty kind of in step with your character's power progression. So it's not like the only fights that are dangerous are going to be found at lower levels. It just, I guess to me, it feels different because you have less control. Like you haven't really, there's not a lot to invest in your characters at this point, so you don't have as much determination over how the fights are going to go. You kind of have to use what resources are already there in order to make it happen. And the game does a good job of giving you more than enough resources that this is not a huge problem. But in later levels, when you face combat or difficult fights, it's more about the decisions that you've made and how you've built your characters. And so that feels like you have a lot more agency at that point. I like to come up here, obviously I'm going to dig up any treasures that I find, but I like to skirt along this backside just to get the waypoint. Having this waypoint discovered is going to help later on. There's also an herb there to grab. And then what I like to do is split the party into two groups. One's going to go up the hill, one's going to go around the hill. I tend to like the melee characters to go around the hill to start the fight.